I think that may have cut that. Let's see if I turn that sound off. I got to get it off the speaker though. So let me try this. And 3, 2, 1, and off. Okay. Hi everybody, it's Chuck Gilmore with Power to Sing Live, number 181. And I've had to change my microphone this last week, and so when I begin to clap music, excited. When I begin to broadcast today, before I get started too far into this, please let me know if you can see me and you can hear me. My hearing me is my main concern because I've got a new setup. I actually broke my USB mic this week. I'm so sad. I'll show it to you here in a second. But first of all, can you hear me? It looks like you should be able to. And I'm hopeful that that you can. So let me know in the comments. Just type in, say, yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can see you. Hey, hi. Okay, so you can hear me and see me very well. I'm guessing that's what that means. So I don't want to shortchange anyone on the sound, and I want to make sure that everything's coming through okay. All right, so if something starts to fail here sound-wise, Pekka, hi, nice to have you here. Midrigan, nice to have you here. Today we're going to talk about practicing every day and practicing singing every day. Hi, Zena, nice to have you here joining us. And so thank you, Rob. Okay, great. So yes, I titled this today, the Practicing Singing Every Day, How to Succeed with a 30-Day Challenge. So let me just ask a question. How's your voice? Are you out of shape vocally? Do you need reconditioning or conditioning? I've got to say that well, okay, here's my true confession. Well, first of all, let me just ask you, are you practicing every day? Are you practicing every day? So now I'll give you my true confession. Okay, so voice needs help, yeah. Look, this is not going to be a very complex process here. I want to talk about a little challenge today that I've given myself already, and I'm going to extend that challenge to you. I want to say hi to Stanislaus. Nice to have you here. Something weird with your voice. It sounds not quite as usual. Okay. Frankie says voice needs, all right. But you can hear me loud and clear. All right. I don't know exactly why. Well, it's probably this. All right. First of all, I've had this microphone. This is an ATR 2100. I've had it for several years. Rob says there is some wobble in it. I don't know exactly why there would be wobble. It's on and everything. Sometimes goes much faster and then slower. Interesting. Okay. So what happened to me is that this ATR microphone on the bottom side here is also a USB mic, meaning that I can take this cord, use it, put a USB connection in it, and put it right into my computer. I snapped it by accident and broke the USB connection. So now I've got an XLR connection in this particular microphone, but I have to run it through. I have to run the XLR connection through this. It's called the Zoom, a Zoom H5, and it's connected here, and it's set up as the interface now. So I have to run the microphone to that little machine, to the Zoom H5, and then I run the Zoom H5 into my computer, which puts it into the broadcast, okay? So that may be why the audio is different. I'm going to be ordering a different, just a standard USB microphone. It's going to be easier to do the broadcasting, but I haven't made my decision yet, and I've got to get it. I'm thinking of the Blue Yeti. Oh, by the way, I would buy an ATR 2100 immediately, but they're discontinued. I can't find anybody to sell them. They're all back ordered, and it appears as if they've been discontinued for some reason. I've loved that mic, and it's got a great natural sound to it, and so forth. So anyone out there have a strong recommendation on a USB microphone that's good for broadcasts like this or podcasts or other things? Like I say, I've loved the ATR 2100. I would buy it. I would have it already because I broke mine on, I broke it on Friday last week. I was so sad. As I've looked around, it looks as if there are several good ones out there, but I'm really kind of considering that Blue Yelty. Blue Welty. I know some people named Welty. They're not blue. Blue Yelty. Is that right? Yeah. Any recommendations on USB microphones? Let me know in the comments. I'll check them out, and because I really do want to have the simplicity and the connectivity of the USB mic right into the computer. Hopefully, you're going to be able to understand me today, though. Sometimes just the internet itself causes wobble, but I'm concerned that going through my little H5 may be introducing some extra labor for the sound to finally get to the computer and get to you. Broadcast through the vast interweb right into your computer and into your telephone. Okay. So today I'm going to give you a challenge. Well, let me say hi to a couple other folks. Frankie, nice to have you here today. Voice needs help, and I think this will help. Aj Devargian is a no. Pekka says I am better than a week ago when I found your channel. Oh, cool. Not able to practice every day. I understand. So we're going to talk about that. How can I practice every day if my voice gets tired and doesn't fully recover the next day? Talk about that. There is some wobble, and I hope the wobble settles down, you guys. The audio sometimes goes much faster and then gets slower. Yeah, it might be my little H5. Hello, is practicing softly, daily warm-up a good idea? Yes, it is. Becca says Stanislaus, it may be because of the internet connection. And it's true. The internet connection can also introduce that kind of situation. I have a little app for my speed test, and so I can do a quick speed test to check out and see how I'm doing. And I usually have really blazingly fast internet because I'm connected to the Ethernet, and I've got fiber cable coming into my home. So right now my download speed is 278 megabits, and my upload is really, really, really fast. I mean, 278 megabits per second is 896 megabits per second. It's probably my little H5 or your connection, because this thing is like, looks like my internet's really set up nicely today. Meldon, nice to have you here. Hello, Practicing Daily. I already answered your question. Okay, so now, Pekka says he experienced the same thing, so it's my connection. I don't think it's my connection. I think it's this little thing right here. It's doing a great job for the job it has to do. It's doing a great job. It's taking my sound, it's changing it into another signal of some sort, and sending it to my computer as an USB connection. But I've heard that doing it on some other recordings that I did. So hang in there with me, you guys. I hope it makes it through this. Hi, Yanyo. Uh, I love you too. Thanks for joining me today from Brazil. And hi, Dust Composer. Great to have you here. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's what I decided. All right, I'm going to when I'm not in a show. Now we're still in a lockdown here in my state of Utah. Now we've just gone from a level 1 lockdown to a level 2, which is less intense. Now, when we go out of our homes, we're supposed to wear our masks and not be in larger groups than 20, and some other restrictions still in place. So it's starting to loosen up a little bit, but my theater is still not running. The theater that I do shows in, it's only 7 minutes from my home, 520 seat facility, beautiful. It's a newer facility. It's 10 years old now. I was fortunate to do the second show in the new theater 10 years ago, and I've done a whole bunch. I've done a show every year or two. We're not doing shows right now, so when I'm not doing musical theater, when I'm not on stage, I don't practice. True confession. I don't practice unless I'm going to do an audition, and then I'll start practicing. So when I'm good at practicing, I'm getting ready for audition, or I am in a show. And if I'm in a show, I do my vocalises every day. I run through my lines and I run through my songs. I do that every day during the run of the show. And when the show's over, I stop. And so I've decided that I'm not going to wait for the theater to open back up. I actually auditioned for Newsies the weekend that our state, the following Monday, went on, restrictions. And so instead of getting a call back, I got an email saying we're putting everything on hold because of the governor's request for us to not assemble in groups. And our patrons are older. We have, a great number of season ticket holders who are retired. And so that puts another restriction on things because we have so many people who are close to 65-ish or over 60 that aren't supposed to be out and about, until this coronavirus thing settles down. So as a result, I just don't know when we're ever going to get back into doing shows because we're sitting arm to arm in a way, elbows touching elbows, in a theater of like 500 people if we have a full house. And what a place to, and who wants to wear, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if everybody, when we come back, are still wearing masks or not. But, the cast is not going to be wearing masks. When people go out to the restroom or into, the lobby to get the refreshment at intermission, what are you going to do? You're going to stay away from each other or have masks on or, So I can't wait. I've decided that I'm going to commit myself, and here it is, drum roll, brrr, boom. I'm going to make a commitment to practice 5 days a week. I'm not crazy. I don't think I could do 7 days a week. But I'm going to practice 5 days a week. I'm going to do it for 90 days. And I've given myself a 90-day goal. I invite you to join me for 30 days. 30 days. And see how it goes. And I'm going to give you some help on making it easier for you to practice, okay? So I'm going to, and here's my other part of the deal is, and you don't have to join me on this, but I'm 2 weeks now into an exercise program. I've been really good at doing 6 days a week of exercise, and I've got a whole program that I've already got worked out. It's through a company that used to be called Core Performance. Now it's XO or something like that. I'm not sure. But I've done it in years past. And so my commitment is to myself. I'm at the end of August, beginning of September, early September, I'm going with a friend, and we're going to maybe take our sons, and we're going to go to the Wind Rivers mountain range in Wyoming, in the state of Wyoming. I was there 30 years ago. It was spectacular, although we had horses, so we packed our horses packed our stuff in. This time, we will be backpacking in. So we're starting at 9,000 feet, 8 or 9,000 feet. It's a high elevation. And so then we'll be carrying packs into the Wind Rivers and backpacking for, I don't know. We'll probably be gone for, 3 or 4 days. So I need to lose some weight, because every pound on your back is 5 pounds on the ground. It's hard. When you're at that elevation, it's hard. I did this a couple of years ago. I went to the top of the highest mountain range in my state, the state of Utah, which was about, what was it? Oh, I'm forgetting now. 12,005 or something like that. 12,003. Kings Peak in Utah. Somebody can probably correct that for me. All right, so my challenge to you is join me. Join me for a 30-day challenge. Just make a commitment to do it 5 days a week for the next 30 days. And if you really want to, here's the other part of my commitment. By July 31st, I'm going to memorize 5 songs. I'm going to memorize 5 songs that I'll have in my repertoire that I can sing anytime. And I know 3 or 4 of them already. They were recommended to me by my mentor and teacher. And he gave me a list of songs that he felt would be good for my voice. Meant a lot to me when he did that. And so for the next 90 days, I'm going to be working out 6 days a week. I'm going to be doing my vocal exercises 5 days a week, and I'm going to memorize 5 songs, because on July 31st, my little community here of students, I have reserved, this is our 5th year, I've reserved an outdoor park that's got a stage on it, under a pavilion with tables, picnic tables and things, and we're going to have an outdoor concert. So I don't usually sing in the concerts because it's my students' turn to sing. But this year I'll sing 1 or 2 songs during the recital, and I want to sing maybe 3 more after the recital to friends and family who hang around, just to kind of give myself a goal, okay? And so anyway, would you like to join me in this little challenge? If you want to do something physical exercise-wise, then that would be awesome too. But that's my craziness. It's not too late to try and get ready for bathing suit weather, right? Just late in July or in August, Really, we've got March, we've got May, June, and July. 3 months. 12. What is that? 12 weeks. And almost every exercise program, you can get a lot of benefit. Vocal exercise program, and physical exercise. So, I'm not really bored out of my mind, because I'm very busy online and I teach online. And so, but I want to do more. And I'm missing theater. I'm missing live theater. I'm missing being in shows. And I haven't done one now for about a year ago. Was it a year ago I closed? Yeah, My Fair Lady. And so it's been a year, since I've been in a show, and I start getting anyway. All right, comments, and then I'll tell you how I'm going to make this easier for you for practice. Okay, so so Yanio Wesley, what a bass voice. Well, is that me or someone else you're talking about? Okay, JC, Chuck, your video and audio are affected. Maybe your computer's too busy, is busy doing something. What about practicing scales? Yeah. What do you think about practicing scales? Yes, that's what I'm going to be. That's what I'm doing. Dust Composer says my headphone is fine, but why I can only hear you with my right ear? I don't. Well, maybe it may not be an. I don't know. I think it's a mono feed into YouTube. Plus only left headphone. Okay. IMO DC. What's up? I'm a huge fan of your channel. Thank you. Continue to help us singers get better. I would like to know your thoughts on practicing with a straw. So Mo DC, I have a hard time singing with a straw. I've never been able to sing with the straw. I'm kidding. I have used the straw for some vocal exercises, and I thought my voice felt great after I did that. So I think it's awesome. I think it's a really, really awesome practice. I do the same, I get the same benefit when I do this. Because I'm exercising through a very small opening. And I get the same benefit if I do this. Tongue trill. And then if I do this, close my lips over the tongue trill. It's really a triple whammy. It really feels great on my voice. So I don't use the straw myself because I don't want to go to the hassle, and I get the same benefit with bubble lip or tongue trill, or the tongue trill with my lips over the top. I think it's awesome though, and it works really well for exercises and gets your voice feeling really, really great. I will also be part of your 30-day practice challenge. Oh, cool. All right, so good. Clap music. Hey, Chuck, thanks so much for tips. Love from India. Quick question. Thanks, clap music. How to know that we start a good humming exercise? I want the beginning to be perfect, early morning. Thanks a lot. Humming is, I think, it's a really good exercise. And I don't really know how to answer the question other than just start humming. I wouldn't push it hard, and I would start low in my range, so it's easy to get the voice started. So it could be just like you do with bubble lips. Humming is really helpful too if you have neighbors on the other side of the wall, if you're in an apartment complex or you're in homes close to your neighbors. Humming is a great exercise. So I would just not do it too hard or too loud. And if you're starting early in the morning, start it out easy. Oh, good. Pekka says he's in. And Ink says, are you going to record the vocal exercises you'll be doing and put them on YouTube? Yes. As we speak right now, here's what I've done. I've recorded exercises using the exercises from powertosing.com. And they're for my vocal type, the flip falsetto vocal type, and the mixed vocal type. I recorded those three for us, and I've put them on one video. It ends up being about 32 minutes of exercises. And now, let me stop here and say, if you don't know your vocal type, then in the description below this YouTube video, once it's up and done, I don't know if you can find it now or not. You might be able to. There's a link for a PDF. Get your vocal type. So I want to encourage you to get that link. It's a PDF. Sorry, get the PDF. It's got links on it, where you just click on the link. It'll take you to the vocal test. Then when you get to the vocal test, let me see if I can just show this to you real quick. It's pretty easy to do. But when you get to the vocal test, then Let me see here. Can I bring it up? All right, now you should still be able to hear me while I describe this. On the vocal test, you scroll down. Here's the test. You start the recording here and start the piano accompaniment here. Guys here and ladies here. And then you sing the 5-tone ah. Ah. And you go up the scale until the music stops. And then you answer the quiz. You answer these questions. So it takes you to links to all of this. It takes you to links to vocal exercises. It takes you to links to videos all about your vocal type. And then, anyway, you'll take the test. It'll give you an email back with the answers tallied, and then you total them up and determine what your vocal type is, okay? Or you can send it to me, but I'm late right now. It's taking me almost 2 to 3 days to get caught up on those. So to get it right away, just take the tests, email it, and then once you email it, you can total up your vocal type. Then do the exercises for your vocal type, okay? Now, I mentioned that I'm going to give you a recording of the 3 vocal types, and one of them's about 15 minutes long, and another one's about 12, and another one's about 11 minutes or something. And so I did all 3. The first one I did was for my vocal type, which is pull chest high larynx. So I do the exercises for my vocal type. Then I did the exercises for flip falsetto, and that's a really good exercise to get the larynx down. A lot of low larynx exercises. And then the third one I did was for mix. Now, I admit that those may be a little challenging for you, but if you do the exercises over a period of time for your vocal type, which there's one more that I didn't do, and that is, you'll need to download this one yourself. In fact, I'm actually singing along with the exercises, right? And that works really well for me to sing along with my own recording of myself. I don't mind singing over the top of myself. But you may find it better to go to, so get that PDF. It'll take you right to the links with the exercises, and then download the exercises right to your computer. And download the vocal type. You can choose. If you're not experienced with your vocal type exercises, do them 3 times or do them twice, depending on how long they last. Just do those twice. Just repeat it. Or 3 times to get it about 30 minutes long. Do them for your vocal type. And then maybe in a couple weeks, if those exercises are going well for you, download the flip falsetto exercise and do those for a while with the other ones. Meanwhile, tonight, in a few hours after we're done here, so for those of you who are just watching this video, it should be it'll be a video that I uploaded on the same day as this live broadcast. There'll be 30 minutes of me doing exercises for pulled chest, high larynx, doing exercises for flip falsetto, and doing exercises for mix in the last 32 minutes. You can sing along with me. Ladies, I'm sorry, you'll have to download them from, get the PDF. It's got all the links, and then click on the links. Get your vocal type if you don't know it. Do the vocal type exercise. You can download your vocal type exercises right to your computer. And that's what I do. I recommend, I have both the PC, which is this computer's a PC. On my little MacBook Pro, I have iTunes, and I upload my exercises. If I take a lesson from someone, I record it, and I upload it and put it right into a playlist. I know you can do the same thing on PC. You can save music in your iPhones or your mobile phones, your smartphones. Create your playlist and do that once a day. But to make it easy for you, for the guys, ladies, you're going to have to go a little more work. Download the exercises off that PDF. Get your vocal type. And then Put them in a place that you can just plug, turn it on, and practice, okay? So that will make it really easy for the guys. And for the ladies, I know you're more motivated anyway. Get the PDF, download the exercises, you can repeat your vocal type exercises 3 times. Just get it out to about 30 minutes. And some people want to know, well, should I practice an hour or 2 hours? And, for 30 days, practice for 15 to 30 minutes. I'm going to do 30 minutes, plus I'm going to be working on memorizing songs, right? And I intend on sharing, what I can, at least for my members of Singers Impact, which is my membership site, I'll be giving more information on how I memorize or learn the songs. Hey, George, nice to have you here today. Audio is bad, Sam, 1 ear. Okay, maybe it's just, maybe my system here is only doing mono sound, and it's different this time. Sorry, guys. Anybody, again, I don't see any recommendations on USB mics. Nobody has them, I guess. Okay, Rob, for a minimum, bubble lips in the shower. 30 minutes, Rob. You'll be all shriveled up by the time you get done. Demon Fox Akira. Hi, huge fan. I wanted to ask, should I stream Steam before practicing? It wouldn't hurt. I don't, because I don't want to go to the trouble. I want to make it simple. Where do you live, Demon Fox Akira? Do you have humidity? It's awful living out here. I live in a desert. Utah in the United States is the second driest state in our 50 states. I think New Mexico is the first driest as a state. Arizona, Nevada, those are all dry. They're surrounding us here. It's so dry that my voice never feels that great. When I go back to my home, which is in Missouri, in the state of Missouri, there's humidity. That's east. East. When I go to California, they got the ocean close in Los Angeles, and I'll sing down there. My voice feels so good. There's just enough humidity that it just feels better. Do you have any humidity where you live, Demon Fox Akira? Curious. Northern part of, Flagstaff. Well, don't you have some humidity in Flagstaff? I mean, it's a little bit wetter there, isn't it? But it still might be like us. We get snow in the mountains. It's just it's a rather dry state. And if I just don't know, but I'm guessing you're probably pretty dried out there. So it's just hard to get enough steam to really last a while, I don't know if it's any better than just doing a hot shower. Just getting in the shower and turning on the steam, getting it as hot as you can stand it, and getting that steam, breathing in that steam. You're in Navajo County, so I don't know if you know what your average humidity is there, but here, it's just low. I'm not sure what my humidity is today. Humidity high is 72, so I don't have a humidity reading on my phone. But it's, do I have a reading somewhere what my humidity is right now? Right now, I don't have humidity reading. Probably don't have humidity here right now. It's just, so lack of humidity is a very big issue, and it does dry your voice out. Let me see. Rob, no problem in Wales, plenty of rain and beer, never dry. So, Rob, I just finished watching Hinterland on YouTube and loved the countryside in Wales. I loved seeing that show. In fact, my mom is with me. She's staying with us while this virus problem is begins to decline. She's 87, so she came out to visit from Missouri, my home, and she's stuck here because all the the restrictions on flights and things for her age. So we went through Hinterland once, and we're going through Hinterland again because I had her join me with episode 4, and she hadn't seen 1, 2, or 3, and so now we're going to be doing 3. We're on 3 again. So we've gone through the whole thing. I just find it fascinating, Rob. I'm talking to Rob now, you guys. They did the whole show in Welsh, also, and I guess it did on BBC there in Wales, and so when they filmed it first the scene in Welsh and then the scene in English, same scene. They just ran it twice, and then they compiled the show for the BBC in Welsh, or in Welsh, and then they have made an English version of it, and I've just love hearing them speak the names of the cities and the towns with that with the local with the pronunciation of the Welsh language. It's just awesome. Okay, anyway, so hey Osminium, nice to have you here. Yeah, long time no see. Yeah, so Demon Fox Akira, anything's going to help when you're living in a desert like you and I live in. Okay, Alex Lojo, what show is it again? Hinterland. Hinterland. It's a murder mystery. It's a little heavy. It's a little bit heavy. It took me a while to get into it. I think that actually the third season was, for me, was better. But anyway, JC says 8% humidity Moab. You're in Moab? 55%. Oh, here in Texas. Yeah, usually it's 70, 85%, which is so great for the voice. It's pretty brutal when it's summertime in the sun. So, Osminium Pseudos, do you have an opinion about singing in or with a mask? Yeah, I can't really define mask. It's here, right? And so I don't really ever tell anybody to place it in the mask because I don't know how to tell them to place it there. I give exercises that create a vibration above the hard palate, and so there is resonance and vibration occurring in the nasopharynx, and the exercises cause that to happen. So I don't have to tell them to place it someplace. The exercises that I give you cause that to happen in the voice. And so if you do the exercises correctly, then the resonance and the vibration will occur in the right place. It's difficult to translate to another person how I would place something. And so rather than do something that's confusing I put it into a common language. That is the exercises. The exercises everybody can do, and it will create the resonance and go in the place it's supposed to go. The technique that I teach is self-placing. Hey, Angela, nice to have you here today. Adjdevargian says, can I practice every day if my voice gets tired? Oh, yeah. Okay. So the exercises that you would do for your vocal type won't wear your voice out. So for a couple reasons, they're not that long. And I recommend that you don't do them loud and that you don't do them hard. Don't do them loud, don't do them hard. Just do them as, and the other nice thing about this, you guys, you can go, again, get that PDF, and it will take you to the links to the videos about your vocal type and the videos where I demonstrate doing the exercises, okay? I demonstrate doing the exercises so you can see how they're done. Now, in the case of some of the ladies, like I did not do the light chest, no chest exercises because they're so far away from what I needed. So in your case, you want to download those, get the download them from the website or from the links on that PDF, and save them on your phone or your computer, and then double or triple it so that you can practice at least 15 minutes to 30 minutes a day. I don't think this is probably, a more advanced. When I'm in a show, I'll practice as long as my show lasts. So, I'll do my lines, I'll do my songs, and that might be a 45-minute practice with some vocal exercises too. So it might end up being an hour practice. So we end up usually practicing for the same amount or a little bit longer than we perform. When you're not performing, I don't think you have to practice for hours at a time. Practice every day or 5 days a week, and get at least. Well, I'm going to do I'm going to do 32 minutes minimum, and I will be practicing more because I'll be singing too. And I tend to practice after doing the exercises that I've shown you today, or that you'll get today online here. They'll be uploaded in a video. For the guys, ladies, I'm sorry, you'll have to download those from the website. But even guys, if you want the exercises without me singing, then go to the links on the PDF. It'll take you right to the exercises. Download them so you don't have me bugging you about it. Well, you don't have me to bug you while you're trying to sing. So as far as Osminium asks which is best for the mask, I don't know what to say other than every exercise works if you're able to bridge. So the first thing that people have to learn to do is to learn how to get from chest through the middle, which is your bridge area, and into head voice. Once you're able to do that bridge, then I can give any exercise. It could be I'm there. Or I could be nay 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 nay, or no 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 no, or no 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 no. But if you can't bridge, you can't do those. So the question really is, if you can bridge, most every exercise you'll be able to sing with that resonance in the nasopharynx. But if you can't bridge, nothing that I give you is going to work. So the first step is learning to bridge, which takes us back to the vocal type. Do the exercises for your vocal type will teach you how to bridge. It is all connected here. So the nice thing about the vocal exercises that I suggest you use for these next 30 days are going to help you learn how to bridge. And like in the case of Angela, she's working on exercises to get more chord adduction. And I think she's doing fantastic with it. And in a while, she's going to be able to move on to other exercises. Interestingly enough, if you're a light chest, no chest, in a very high percentage of situations, once the student is able to get their vocal cords together and come together in a rather proficient manner, then they start pulling chest. It's just, now that the chords are together, now they're pulling the chest voice too high. So then you would go to pull chest, high larynx vocal type. And that's just because it's never, the bridge has never presented itself it hasn't made itself manifest in the voice because the vocal cords were coming together firmly enough. You didn't feel anything. But once you get the chords together, now there's the bridge. Now we've got to get from chest, which is now firmly established, in transition into head, and there's a roadblock. And that will help you then to sing the pulled chest, high larynx exercises so that you're able to learn how to bridge and get through that bridge. So many of them, I can't remember where you're at with that, but I think you may already be bridging. So I would say any of these exercises would work once you're able to do that. EK says, I use 360 breath, but I still get hoarse after singing. I don't know what 360 breath is, but I know that I don't get hoarse when I'm not, if I pull the chest voice too high, if I'm over singing and using too much muscularity in my voice, then I'll get hoarse because the larynx is up and I'm pulling too much weight from the bottom, and that causes my hoarseness. Not breathing. Even if I'm a lousy breather, that doesn't really have much impact, but the raised larynx and the pulled up chest is hard to do, and it doesn't take long before the voice goes hoarse. AJ says, by practice 30 minutes, do you mean all the singing or just technical exercises? No, well, you can do, yes, good question. No, you could sing, maybe if you practice 15 minutes and then sing for 15 minutes, but, you know, it's like going on a walk, right? You're getting exercise. It's helping your voice. And it's going to recondition, and it's going to condition your voice. You may find that you want to go longer on some days because it's fun, and it's just getting it started, and then you keep going. Angela says, I've noticed the roadblock already. So Angela, it's normal because now there is a bridge and you're feeling it. Don't worry about it. These exercises that you're doing for, like, now, if you want to start going on pulled chest, high larynx, those exercises are going to help you get out of chest and get into your bridge, your mix area. That's a combination of chest and head. So now you have something that you can mix together. You've got chest voice, and then you've got that head voice, and now that bridge area is going to allow you to begin mixing chest and head. And the exercises for pulled chest, high larynx, for flip falsetto, for the mix exercises, they'll all help develop your ability to bridge and to mix. But if someone with a light chest, no chest, never addresses it, then they're never going to be able to mix adequately because there's something missing. They don't have something to mix. But now that you've got chest and head, then you can start working on mix. You may find, Angela, that you have to return to those periodically. And that's why I'm always doing exercises that are essentially for my vocal type. EK says, I mean, apagio. I'm sorry. Okay, EK, what was your, say, I still use, apagio breath. Still get hoarse after singing. Yeah, I think it's a condition of the larynx and of pulling up the low voice, the chest voice, too high. And that's usually always what causes that hoarseness, unless you're ill or sick or you have an allergy, which is possible. If it's just very, very dry, I get scratchy if I have a lousy night's sleep, which is most of the time. I'm not a great sleeper, or if I stay up too late, which I tend to do sometimes. So staying up too late, dried out, maybe you've been sick, you've been taking medication. There's not, it dehydrates you. There's dust pollen, all that kinds of things in the springtime now. And so it affects the voice. Maybe you've got a little reflux going. So there's a lot of things that can cause some hoarseness. 360 breath is not only breathing the belly, but also expanding the back and sides of your waist. Oh, I see. Okay. Angela asked, do you recommend that I start the pulling chest exercises now while still doing the light? Yeah, I don't think you would be harmed by that at all. Experiment with it, Angela, and see what you think. but watch the videos about the exercises for full chest, high larynx, so that you're able to do those just like they're demonstrated. And I think it'll be exciting. I think it's going to be exciting for you. Okay, so here's a couple things. Don't practice don't practice more than 5 days a week. Give yourself a weekend off. Or take a midweek break, do a Saturday, take Sunday off every week, and yeah, Angela, give it a try. Don't kill yourself on this. Singing is meant to be fun. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't do it. And it's so much fun when you are able to start to do things that you've never done before. And that's really a blast. Commit to longer than yeah, I would just say don't make that strong commitment to anything more than 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes really. But allow it to happen if it does. If you got the time and you want to keep going, add another 15 minutes on, or spend some time singing a song or learning a song, which is what I'm going to be doing. Number 4, practice your exercises for your vocal type. We talked about that. And you'll be surprised, everybody. And I'd love to hear your feedback as you get going on this, how the voice begins to, what you start feeling by doing 15 to 30 minutes a day over a period of, I think you're going to notice it. I think you're going to notice it in the first couple days. Now, I've already practiced today, but I think you're going to notice that the second day, the third day, the third, fourth, fifth day, it's going to start feeling easier. And your voice is going to start feeling stronger. It's going to start feeling more flexible, more alive, and it's going to be more fun. And so it tends to come around, I should say, at least for me, come around pretty quickly. Of course, I'm vocalizing informally like this all day, so I'm sure that helps. But I can tell a difference. When I practice just getting it going for a few days, it starts to feel better. And so I think you're going to really enjoy it. And it's motivating when you start feeling a difference. Start doing things you couldn't do before. Hey, Jer, or Yair, how do I have a strong head voice? How to develop it? Well, and then Aj Davardijan. How do I know I'm practicing something correctly, that I'm going in the right direction? Yeah. Well, first of all, watch those videos that are in the link in the PDF. Watch each of the videos because I demonstrate them for you. Record yourself doing the exercises. Record yourself doing right now I'm actually doing a video. I'm doing a video and audio recording of me practicing. Might use it for something, I don't know what. Today I practiced to an old lesson, so it's not going to be quite as interesting for a viewer because I'm stopping and listening and playing it back and listening to my voice, listening to my teacher tell me, but record yourself and listen to it and then compare it to the demonstration that I make and see how they sound. Listen to yourself, listen to my demonstration. Try and make them the same. Make it sound, try then do the exercises is precisely as they are demonstrated in the videos. And you're going to get really, really close to doing them correctly. The common mistake people make is doing them too loud and too hard, too much force. Just do a medium. Medium is great, and it'll really make a difference. So that's my recommendation on how to know whether you're doing it right. All right, so EK says, when is your voice ready to mix? Do you have to have a good chest voice and head voice first? We all have, we all speak in chest voice, and all of us have a head voice. We just have to connect those two together, and the way we connect them is by bridging, and so we have to mix them together for a little period of time as we transition. And so if I said, now if my chest voice was, ah, I got to work on chest. I have to establish chest. Ah, 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 na, 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 nay, 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 ah. So once that's established, for the ladies it would be up here. Once that's established, then head voice we all have. Whee! Now how do I get those two together? And that's when so you're ready to begin bridging. And so it's pretty much that simple. You don't have to it doesn't have to be a great chest voice or a great head voice. You just have to have chest and head. So how do you expand your mixed range voice? Just by going up one note higher than you can reach? No, not really. What has to happen is that you have to connect the chest to the head without it going into falsetto. If I said, ah, I'm just pulling the chest up. I can't mix anything because I'm just pulling chest. There's no head voice coming in. If I said, oh, now I'm in falsetto, so I don't have anything to mix down below. There's no chest voice there. So I can't mix that. If I said, ah, ah, you could term that a mix, but it wouldn't be good for anything. So you have to have at least the vocal cords coming together in chest. So the exercises to begin with are exercises like this. So the bubble lip puts you right in it, puts you right in your mix. Unless you don't want to let it go, you don't want to let it break into falsetto. You don't let it crack. You have to hold that. It has to have a continuous tonal line, a total tonal connection. And that's using that bubble lip to get you in that place where you're mixing. That's how I first felt it. I'm shocked because I knew I didn't break in the falsetto, and I just went so high without any straining. First step. That's the first step. You get going on that, and then just start adding some other things, more like speaking. I just mixed through the bridge and up into head voice and back down again. So I just went through my bridge in my mix. It was not a finished mix, but it's the beginning, and that's how it starts. And no, you don't have to stop one note higher. You start doing that, and you start adding 4 or 5 notes higher. I gained more than an octave because I couldn't sing past the E above middle C. That's all the further I ever went. Otherwise, I would crack or break like I just showed you. But after a while, if you go, there's an octave right there. More than an octave. Now, I can vocalize up there as well, but let's not do it today. All right, Osmidium asks, or a comment is, I think the best advice I can give to everyone is to get a good vocal coach. Even a couple lessons might be useful. It's totally worth having classes on a regular basis. Ditto. For me, that's my experience. I mean, I had about 2.5 year period where I, for whatever reason, didn't have a teacher, and so I listened to tapes, and it helped. But my first lesson back, I asked my teacher. Oh, I said, what is that? He said, what's what? I said, that, oh. He said, that's your head voice. I still wasn't sure if I was in falsetto or not. That's how wonderful it is to have a teacher. It just helps. No, what's this going? What is this thing playing? Do we have music playing right now? Sorry. How long has that been going? Did that music just come on? I don't know. All right. I think maybe my arrow landed on the music and started playing it again. Sorry about that. Okay. So the first question I had when I got back to taking lessons, no music that I can hear. Okay, thanks. So, Osmidium, I agree completely. For me, in my experience as a singer and as a performer, I found lessons to be very helpful. Linda, hi Linda, nice to have you here. Are there exceptions of people who can bridge naturally? I think so. You know, I've heard that Donny Osmond has never had a voice lesson. I think there are people like that seem to be able to get through the bridge, or at least they can pull their chest voice higher, and it's not like I pulled chest, which is a disaster. So there's some people who think they're mixing naturally and they're pulling, and they end up damaging their voices. They end up having surgery on their vocal cords, or they get nodules, or or they hemorrhage. So that's they think they're natural bridgers, but they're just good pullers because they have a gift. A lot of those people, a lot of really great singers have a gift, but eventually, if they're not doing it right, they lose their voices, and it's one of the worst things in the world, I think. And for a singer, it's devastating to have a hemorrhage, or to have nodules, or to have surgery on your vocal cords. My gosh. Great Babe, how long does it take for reaching powerful mixed sound after we find it, or since we find it? Powerful mixed sound. I would say for powerful mixed sound, it took me personally, let me see, 2000, 2010, 2000. It took me at least, I would say, probably 10 to 13 years. Pavarotti, he was interviewed on BBC, and he showed an example of just getting this note, the F, the way he wanted it to be powerful and to be elegant. And he said that he did a demonstration of it. He said, now that might sound easy. Take maybe 10 years. So when I heard Pavarotti say that, I didn't feel bad at all about how long it took me to develop a really strong mix. Now, I'm slow, I think. And I think other people can do it faster, and I hope that I help my students do that. It takes as long as it takes. That's kind of the answer that someone gave me one time. It takes as long as it takes. For one person, it's quicker. For another person, it's longer. It depends on their experience. Are you already singing professionally? You might get into it much faster than I did as a non-professional singer. And so it seems as if oftentimes my more experienced students who are making a living singing can find that mix a little bit faster. Is it a powerful mix? I don't know if they would say it was. It takes a while. All right, you guys, we've been at this for an hour, and I just appreciate your joining me today. I'll check in with you periodically. Watch for the video. I'll be uploading it in the next little while, and it'll be there for you to watch and to practice with. And ladies, I apologize to you, but it just didn't make sense for me to sing along. Linda asked, you would know if you're not pulling, if you're feeling it in your stomach and your larynx is neutral. I don't feel my voice in my stomach per se, but I've had experiences where I didn't realize I was pulling, and I was pulling. And I listen to a lot of the singers on the radio today who are pulling, and the vowels are spreading, and they're pulling their chest voice. I don't know if they don't know or they don't care, but I'm going to guess that there are plenty of singers out there who think they're mixing and they're pulling. Thanks, you guys. Osminian says, I think that pulling chest is a little bit misunderstood. The most you can really pull chest, really pull chest is about G4 for men. Yeah, but you know what, Osminium? I've got some really good tenors who can pull further than that. Then you have to use some head voice. I think it's just some people are just using stronger coordination higher. Yeah, so it's like this. If you're pulling just a little bit of chest, are you pulling chest? If you're pregnant, are you just a little pregnant? Visible. Chuck, how would you recommend working the mix once you have found it and your voice is balanced? Exercises or recommendations for those who have found it? I definitely think that exercises are key to continuing to build and develop your mix. So yes, exercises for sure. And songs, both. We should sing like we practice, and we should practice like we sing. So we want to be interchanging songs and exercises and doing this and doing the same kind of thing vocally in both. So great question. Becca says, thanks, Chuck. It was a pleasure. Thank you, you guys. Everybody have a great day. Watch for, I'm going to be uploading the video in the next little while. I've got some students. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to upload it before I teach or right after I teach. So it's going to be in the next hour or 2 hours, something like that. Stay tuned and hop on it. I've got a little chart. I didn't tell you. I made made 4 copies of calendars for the next month. Copy for May, June, July, and August, and I'm making a little X on every day that I work out, vocally, work out physically. And I write my weight in also every day. So I'm getting really serious about this. I'm going to be adding to that, probably writing in some things on learning songs, but I'm tracking myself, and it's posted right on my office door, on the cupboard door, and I can see it every time I walk into my office. So make yourself accountable. I'd make a copy of a blank calendar and cross it off on your calendar. All right, thanks, you guys. Take care. And Vladimir, hi, nice to have you here. Angelique, how are you? Nice to have you here. The exercises are going to be, so Angelique, they're not going to the ones for the guys I sing with, and they're going to be on YouTube in the next hour or two. You're going to have to get them, get the PDF, get your vocal type, and then download the exercises first for your vocal type. And then, so watch the video. I tell you all about it here. Thanks, you guys. Take care, and see you next time. I'm Chuck Gilmore with Power to Sing. You can sing higher with beauty, confidence, and power. See you inside the next video.